Woo! What's up, everybody? Waiting for a few people to come in. We're going to touch on this topic in a few moments. Mr. Moore, what's up? Woo! What's up? How you doing? Good morning. Good evening. Whatever you prefer, wherever you are. I'll wait till a few more people come on. We're going to get right into this topic. Yes, Lord. How you doing today, bro? We're going to ask that important question. Why is there such an obsession with fixing broken people? Hmm. Oh, it's still what is it, about 9, 10 o'clock over there? With Sean Jefferson. Woo! Good. Good morning, good evening, depending on where you are. My man Michael White. Just left the Fridays with my man Mike. Woo! Tell you, we about to get on this topic, fellas and ladies who are soon to come. Yes, yes, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Donate to the Cash App. Like, share, and subscribe. We doing the right now. My homeboy calls me the king of late nights. Fix broken cars, at least you get after fix. Good question. Judge Drew, hey, what's up? What's up? That's Baltimore. I have to come in and do that. Well, I would say fuck Cleveland, but Cleveland already fucks themselves. But just oh yeah, we're gonna get it in tonight, folks. Uh, we might we might have some sensitive people get their feelings hurt, but how I always do it. If you're feeling sensitive about anything I say, so get stronger feelings. Or, as I had to tell one person, hit dogs holla. If the comment hits, then don't you holla unless it hurts. So yeah, I had this inkling from so many people out there who want to fix broken others, man. You've heard Jada say it. I've heard plenty of women say it. I've seen dudes do it so many times. All right, cool. Cool, 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 cool. But I've always wondered, and even I had to admit that at one time I had to fix somebody that was broken. But I had to come to my damn logical mind and say, why do I try to fix someone who is broken nor wants to be fixed? Boy, starting shit with the sports already. There's a reason why, because they see themselves in Jada a lot of times, Mike. See, Jada is the one that represents them all. She's the one who tells them Well, Jada, if Jada could be ratchet, if she could fix broken guys and find herself a Will Smith worth 300 million, knowing damn well that's not their reality. As Scooby say, bro, you gotta look at you gotta look at what's going on, man. You gotta look at what's going on. You gotta look at what's going on with today's not just the women but also the men. Fixing broken people will leave you not only broken but damn sure broke because you're either paying for the shit they destroyed, or you're paying for the psychological damage they caused, or you're paying with it with jail time. Think about that. Broke people break people. Broken people will break people. Think about it. You have kids about a broken woman. Let's say you have about 2 or 3 kids. That's 4 to 5 people who becomes broken. Same thing. You know, how many women are in relationships with guys who are crackheads or drunks? And how many times she had to go to the house of Ruth because of her abusive husband? I've always said that, man. Why do we have, especially in the black community in particular, we have this belief that we have to help everybody. But getting my maturity, especially during my army days, you learn, oh, please, definitely like, share, subscribe. You learn that number one, if number one ain't right, you can't help two, three, four, and five. I'm not saying be selfish, but you're not supposed to give somebody your first aid kit. You're supposed to use theirs. Because if you become wounded, you're fucked. And too many of us use our first aid kits on broken women, broken men, and then wonder why when that person gets right or appear to get right or leave, you're expecting some type of thanks. That's delusional. And sometimes you're doing the equivalent of putting a band-aid over a gunshot wound. If anybody worked in any type of military, law enforcement, medical, fire, guess what? You know that's fucking impossible to kill anybody putting a band-aid over a gunshot wound. It reminds me what when people break down what Jada said. She has this addiction into broken men, men who are conflicted within their own mind, body, soul, and emotions. So you got to realize, and I'm not just picking on Jada because I could use men who do the same way. I could use plenty of men who know their chick's a prostitute, who know their chick is got more balls bouncing on her face than a circus seal, still trying to fix her, still want to be with her. But then he does something drastic like try to hurt her or kill the guy she's cheating with, and then now he's broken. Remember, it's a vicious cycle out there. I like to give people this time of thought. Why do you think we like to help broken people? See, it's not just an addiction to dick. Because nowadays, thanks to the thirsty nigga culture, and we gotta admit that we got some thirsty motherfuckers. Dick is easier than pre-K arithmetic, okay? He's not soft, but he's got to play damage control because his brand was took a hit. Every person on earth has emotions, but you're not supposed to get emotional. You got to think. People who fix broken people or try to or attempt to realize this. Normality is foreign to them. Calmness is foreign to them. Have you noticed how many people love dramas? Think about it. For the longest time, Scandal was the number one show to black women. So they condone a black woman committing adultery with a sitting president as long as he's white. So if that would have been a white woman with a black president, they would have called for that shit to be shut down. I would simply like to specify, so I would say if you, a man, go through with a broken family, but you have to choose the youngest woman as possible so you can re-educate her, which is true. What's up, Iori? He said, "Stop it, Phil." See, you got to understand something. A broken mind and fixing a broken mind, I would place a great wager that that shit releases dopamine, all kinds of serotonin and shit. I'm pretty, I'm pretty sure they get some type of supernatural high from it. Because what life has shown us, there's a lot of people out there who are not satisfied with greatness. There's a lot of people out there who, unfortunately, do not understand themselves and the fact that this brokenness is more contagious than COVID-19. I issue a challenge that this broken nature has more dead bodies than COVID will ever create. You look at Megan Thee Stallion with her boyfriend, who's about what 5'3", 120 pounds. He has a goddamn gun at you. At some point, you need protection. But it goes back to what I said. Sometimes the best reversal of a hold is to never get put it in the first place. So if you listen to Officer Faulkner sometime, and she would listen to the tales of how to avoid dangerous people, she would have never been harmed in this situation. But because she, as the several holy books would say, leaned to her own understanding, she put herself in danger. Instead of her foot, that could have been her head, and she'd be dead. But we need to be protected. No, you need to fucking protect your own self. You're around a broken man. You're around a very dangerous man, obviously, and you're trying to fix him. No different than you inviting a crackhead into your home and you just refurnished. You got all the latest Blu-rays, 4K TVs, and this motherfucker's drooling about how much fucking rock he could get from fucking stealing your shit. But yet, but yet, we invite these dangerous people into our lives. This toxicity, if you will. You can't ask for protection when you put yourself already in the minefield. And now we got to come and get you. An ounce of prevention is worth greater than a pound of prevention, than a pound of maintenance, actually. You can hear broken. Look at LaShawn. Hell, I'm broken right now while the single woman at Fox Soul and at Red Table wish to took some side bros messed her up. Of course she's messed up. Perhaps it's coming. See, you got to realize this. From 0 to 17, you could probably blame your parents. 18 and beyond, it's on you. Nobody takes a gun out unless they're willing to use it, especially pussy niggas. I hate to use that term, but that's what it is. See, you got to realize this about children. And I'm glad you brought that up, woman of the past. How you raise your kids will be a gift or a curse to the planet. How you raise your kids will be a gift or a curse to the planet. See, black people need to stop some of this bullshit talking about, oh, babies are a blessing. Yeah, tell that to the motherfuckers that can't afford them. Only somebody who's never had kids before or don't have to take care of them motherfuckers would say that. We love our children, but in the modern world, they're a burden because you have more dangers for them. I love my son. We'll never trade him for the world, but what I say honestly, is it burdenous? Yes, because I got to take care of him. There's more dangers than it was when my parents grew up. Hell, there's more damn sure more dangers than my grandfather grew up. And you got people having more kids, 5, 6, 7 kids, like they still live on damn farms. More mouths to feed, more money you must make, and jobs are fucking scarce. Yes, your children are your flesh, but see the problem with that is too many people are practicing cannibalism. They're eating their own flesh. You got mothers out there who won't move out of a damn block, and it was in Baltimore, as a matter of fact. Mike probably can confirm it. There was a mother out here years ago. All three of her sons dead. One died in a shootout. One died at a shootout at the fucking funeral, and another one was taken out in the streets. Broken people break other people. See, children are your flesh. That's great. When you have those kids, make sure you can take care of them. Make sure you grow them and raise them right. See, maintaining a child is a lot different than actually raising one. Once again, raising a child is a lot different than maintaining one. I put clothes on my kids' back. They never did. Who gives a fuck? A lot of these children are not taught anything outside of their parameters. They grow up and you normalize the fact that hood life is this way. You normalize this broken culture that says, what have you done for me lately? They don't realize the world doesn't owe you shit. You owe it, especially you eating. See, we obsessed with helping broken people because many a times we want to help our broken parents, help our broken grandparents, help our broken brothers and sisters. And then we take on all that responsibility, internalize it, and it slowly but surely builds some cancerous cells. It turns you carcinogenic. It becomes cancerous. Y'all following me? Give me a woo in the chat if you tracking. If you tracking, give me a woo. Because when you look at this culture of trying to fix broken people, it's no different than dealing with alcoholism. It's no different than dealing with drug addiction. It's no different than dealing with a gambling addiction. It's no different than dealing with mental illness. You have to know there's a problem in order to correct a problem. And many of us are too fucking deep in the well that we won't even know what's up from down, and we don't even know if we got a problem anyway. And see, 13 years of being an officer for Baltimore City. Hell, Mike's been there for what, 15? He's with the county. We can tell you how many broken homes we walk into. Just a kingdom of dysfunction. A kingdom of dysfunction. Sons are unruly. Daughters wearing shit that look like she's about to work the corners on North Avenue. Unruly. And somehow the parents say, this ain't my fault. Mm. It wasn't people like, let's say, Jada, who feels needed. See, the problem with the black community is this. We always make excuses for fucked up shit. We make an excuse for the discombobulated minds. We don't actually prop up the people who are doing well. We glorify dysfunction. Look at your music. Please, for any millennial right now, tell me the closest thing you have to Frankie Beverly and Marvin Gaye right now. I will wait. And if you could correct me, I will digress. Anybody under 25, do you even know what a fucking love ballad is? Exactly, Mike. And this goes on day in and day out in so many of our cities in America, and the black community in particular. You got to think. I've always said this. This is my theory. Take it or leave it. Where the music goes, the culture will follow. Anytime you normalize it in your music, I don't even like listen to rap like I used to because everybody sounds the same. Not everybody could be the fucking second coming of Tony Montana. Everything's got to be violent. I got these guns. I do this. I do that. I sell these rock. I'm like, do you know how dystopian that shit is? And then here's the crazy part that lets you know that it's a bunch of bullshit and dysfunction. Once you start becoming your own person and you start calling out the fuckery, people will look at you like you're weird. Can I get an amen and a woo? How many times you call somebody out on their bullshit, they look at you like you're the one crazy. Get those likes up, get the viewership up. We gotta like, share, subscribe. Started a whole hour early for you folks. Get some donations, get some likes. Woo! We're going in tonight. How many times have you been the one to try to be the voice of reason and you're the one shunned out of your family, out of your relationships, hell, even out of your occupations? You're damn right. Sylvar Moore, everybody's pretending to be a shooter. You know how much training it takes to be an actual shooter? 25, 50 yards, just motherfucker with a target. Anybody who's done some shooting before professionally knows the further a target away, the smaller it looks, the harder it's to shoot. I could get a 10% target. A 10% target is this. You have a target where there's a picture of a guy and he's got a gun to a woman's head. 25, 50 meters away, I could put 8 shots and all 8 are going into a skull. No waste of motion, no waste of ammo, no waste of effort. It takes talent. A hostage situation, I could put them down. But everybody wants to be a shooter. No, that's a job with no mistakes. And then you see these dysfunctional motherfuckers go out there shooting and little kids get shot. But we're so damn cowardly and so out of touch that we don't march and protest that shit. What's up, Chaos? Yeah, they waving the guns around like infants. We have become a broken society and it's normalized. We are sensitive for wrong issues. You damn right we are. You damn right we are. And see, it's weird. It's weird, folks, and people of the chat and audience. It's weird. Because as soon as you challenge the status quo of fuck shit, you're going to be looked at as an outcast. You know, how they get access? Because a lot of these guns are being shipped from either Mexico and South America. And also the Middle East. You know, like that song, "You Can Reach Me by Airplane." Yeah. And cross the land and the Sargan. Yeah, you know, they really ship this shit here. Think about it. How dysfunctional can you be to sell poison to your own people? Hell, you'll let teachers come to your education centers, tell you more about your kid than you do, and you spend more time with them. Oh, because he's a boy and he's got testosterone and he learns a different type of way than the feminist programming you have been indoctrinated with, he needs to be on Ritalin. You basically gave your goddamn 5-year-old son speed. And then you wonder why he's deformed, he's sterile, and he's schizophrenic. Because you gave him fucking speed. And then what happens? He gets addicted to more drugs later on in life. What's up, yeah?
Hey, what's good, man? Does my background sound good?
Oh, you sound good.
All right. What's good, Mr. Faulkner? And I'm just getting off another channel, listening to another excellent stream, like always. Giving
Of
the man
course.
of God, as you know, the big ladies. But that's not the subject tonight. Tonight's subject, let me look, is what the obsession of fixing is, if I'm right. Mm.
What's the obsession of fixing these broken ass people?
Listen, we all hear the old quotes from one of our own elders back in the times of enslavement. Like, what's his name? Fred Doug said, "It's hard to fix a broken home." It's not saying it can't be done, but it's very difficult. But because back then we were enslaved and we were given some minor of freedom, so whatever brokenness we had, it was always mentally. Today in the 21st century, we're broken in all categories. We are so broken to the point we are in a danger zone as race people here in the West America. You know. So when I look at it as a man, can this be really fixed? I always ask the black community, as collective, as we look at ourselves, do we really seriously want to be fixed? Because to fix something, that requires work. You know how we break something and we get, bro, we get our tools, we get our screwdrivers, some hammers, and we had to put in work to fix it. So we always ask black people today, are we really in a state of mind to really say, can we put the effort of fix it? And I'm not talking about just the men alone. This is gonna be a two-way street. You get me? You lazy ass bitches will not be sit back and letting the man just sit. We're gonna fix it. And you're gonna sit back with your dysfunctional ass. No, you will be engaged in fixing your stuff as well.
Mm-hmm. And see, that's the biggest problem. You hear females talk about, I need a man who can tame me. Listen, chick, I'm not Siegfried and fucking Roy. You'll hear dudes out there, I need a woman that can make me, that can fix my life. That's not your mother. You go out here, and I believe that most people need to fucking find an etiquette school. Well, you ever heard of that before, Chaos? How many black etiquette schools do we have?
Black etiquette that teaches
How
etiquette
many
for women. I mean,
for black women? And I forget what they charm schools for women. And I think
you
it's like
break it. You
military
sound
or
very
etiquette.
low, Charles. You have to speak up to the mic. I can barely hear you.
What about now? What
You
about
sound a little
now?
better. Sound a little better. You
What
said,
about
is there
etiquette?
anything of a so-called black etiquette school for young girls or young women? That's what you're asking? Uh, as Charles gets back his mic fixed, please like this video. And while we're streaming, please share. Sharing is caring. You know.
Yeah, I'm asking for that one because I'm just like, not just for young women, but also for young men.
Okay.
Because you can't just have one equation making babies and the other dumb motherfucker stupid as hell too. You got to
I
have a
agree.
joint effort.
Hmm.
And I'm looking at it like you can't you can't say we're doing well as a race of people right now if only one of you are working. Well, these black men don't want to work. You know why these black men don't want to work? Because you took all the goddamn jobs that were guaranteed to them.
Hmm.
That's lunacy. I've asked this to many a black woman. Would you give up your fucking job for your man to take care of you? But you don't believe your man will take care of you because you were taught quite the opposite.
Yeah.
A lot of women have more faith into fucking lesbians being better fathers than they do in us. How the fuck is she gonna teach your boy to be normal? So I look at this shit and I ponder if somebody said I'll give you a better example. Remember the movie Man of Steel with Henry Cavill as Superman?
I was the one that came out was it 7 years ago?
Yeah,
I watched that movie for the very first time, and the movie was okay. I think it could
I
be
like
better.
it. I thought it was a great movie. There
It
was
could
a
be better.
scene.
Yeah.
There was a scene in there where he goes to the oil rig. It's on fire,
Hmm.
and this is the equivalent of the black community. You got this guy, by his bare hands bending steel of the door and telling people, "Come on." You know what the motherfuckers did? They just paused because they saw this guy on fire open up the door and say, "Come on, I'm here to save you." That's the equivalent of what I see in the black community today.
Yep.
But think about it. How do you know you live in dysfunction? How many chicks get child support and none of their kids go to private schools?
I never thought of that, Charles. And it makes me want to say, well, a lot of children are getting this so-called money, and a lot of women say, well, it's not much money. Well, it's not much money, but you're asking for it. But what are you really doing tangible with the money?
You know,
And
you know,
Karen, when they ask for details, that we need receipts of what you're doing with the money every week or month, and that a lot of women had a problem with that. So it makes me want to say, you're there just to spend it, just to spend it.
yeah, like you should not be able to spend child support money on your favorite wine or some red bottoms.
Yeah.
Why don't your kids have if they can't go to private school, why don't they have a tutor? Why aren't they playing musical instruments? Like I'm just so tired. We're gonna open it up in about 5 minutes. I'm so tired of this backwater shit. It's like I had a chick talk about like one of my good friends, Sean. He talked about a chick who said, "Well, my child's father doesn't do this. He doesn't do." I said, "You know what?" I said, "Sean, what you should have told her was, did you pick this motherfucker to be a good father? Were you looking for a father or a fuck?" Because I'm starting to believe if you don't give people something to complain about, their life has no meaning. Mike said, "Don't open that door, Charles." I offered that, and I was told no. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing about a lot of these chicks out here who doing the child support hustle because it's a hustle. As soon as that child turns 18, a lot of these motherfuckers are gonna be broke and homeless. And at that moment, I feel nothing because you didn't feel nothing for 18 years. It's just like that guy who makes all the fucking delusional excuses of not taking care of his children. Well, she won't let me. God damn it, a woman don't let you do shit. Man, the fuck up.
Hmm. Oh, one thing, Charles, as you shared the link, let's run some music, give people some time for a little break. Since we're already 30 minutes into this, or over 30 some minutes. So that way, you will relax, jump in the stream, and have this discussion. Shall we?
Oh, shall we? Let's play some jazzy shit.
All right.
Woo, hit my theme
Find my
music.
let me find the music. Give me 1 second, people. I
Y'all
like to
gonna,
do it. We always
y'all
gotta start
gonna,
out. We start off from the beginning, but you know how things go.
you
But
know,
nonetheless, the show goes on. Let me find the Oh, here it is.
sometimes you gotta get that voice out. We're gonna
Yep.
entertain y'all for some jazzy music. Please, as you
Yep.
come back, like, share, subscribe. Please donate to the Cash App. Just $3 to this Cash App. Hell, even $5 to the Cash App. By each person seeing it, we'll support this channel and other shit like it. And yes, those cigars and cognac does not buy itself either. And the more upgrades we put to the channel, the more we can entertain you for much longer times. Remember that, folks.
Hey, I wonder if my thing's working. Let me make sure. Do you hear
Hmm.
any? I don't think you're hearing no music, right? You
Oh
hearing
no,
no?
not
Not
yet.
yet. All right. Let me
Not
see if it's playing. Just you let me know.
because I'm
Let the
pretty
music
sure the
start.
folks.
A matter
I'm
of
pretty.
fact, people let me know if the music's playing. So let us sit back and listen to music while y'all come in. And press 1 if you hear the music. All right. So let's go.
I could hear it at first, but not that. Now it's low.
I know. Let me see if I can fix the volume. Damn. The speakers are all the way 100. Oh, they're using the machine. I gotcha. I'm using the machine. It's very low. All right, I'm gonna fix that. Let me stop music.
I mean, we're gonna have to put those speakers on a Capone set. Take it back.
Well, then I have to do this. 1 second. Where's the video? I know how to fix this. All right, guys. Since it's low, I probably will be using my cell phone running this music.
All right. Cell phones make good speakers. Oh, beautiful right there.
Mm-hmm. Panther. Mm-hmm. All right. Anybody
Woo!
came up? Y'all can come up still, man. Share
Oh
thoughts
yeah.
and opinions. You know.
Oh yeah. Anybody who wants to come up, the link is in the chat.
Yeah.
Come on up, express your views because
Mm-hmm.
unless y'all like just hear me talk, then guess what? Let me know because guess what? A motherfucker's gonna keep talking. See,
Mm-hmm.
it's weird, man. Because I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
One of the most frustrating times in a young man's life is when he sees the world for what it is and not what he believed when he was younger. And what really gets him is the fact of the matter that he is not allowed to challenge that status quo of dysfunctionality.
Mm-hmm.
He will be actually ostracized for saying, you know what? I know. Woo, Art New Style. Please come up on the chat,
Oh
please.
yes. Art, come up here. You know, I told Charles I was gonna help him with this, man. You gotta come up here, Art. Got to, man. Bring a different element. Oh, continue. I was about to say something after this.
Because, I went through that journey. Not saying I'm perfect, far from it. Everybody knows that. And you just look at things and you're saying, wow, that doesn't make sense. Why are people doing it? And it goes back to what people say, if you know better, if you do better, if you know better, you'll do better. But some things should be almost natural, shouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So you go through your life in search of knowledge. At least that's what I hope that some people do. Doesn't have to be everybody, but then you look out and you're like, wow, so many of us, instead of wanting to be enlightened, we want to just be ignorant. And it's blissful.
Mm-hmm.
And when you are blissful with your ignorance, you see this euphoric look on their faces. They don't even know the world around them is burning. As this one saying my boy Aaron used to say, if ignorance is bliss, then wipe the smile off my face. And you try your best not to become jaded from what you see the world around you.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes that could be a shield or defense mechanism. It may not be the best, but it's something. Uh, what do you think, Art? Why do we have this obsession of fixing broken people?
Obsession with fixing broken people. I just came in about 2 minutes ago on the tail end of what you were commenting on.
No, no, that's the subject of tonight's discussion. It's like, why does it seem like we just got such an affinity for fixing broken people?
Well, that's my job. That's what I've been doing for 25 years.
Hmm.
You
Well, give me
know,
your take on it for being a educator.
well, if you're around people and you're able to be a resource to whatever's next to you that needs fixing, would you keep it to yourself or would you be able to share without you being broke? You know, some people sacrifice things, but at the same time, some people know that, you know, if I don't do something, the thing is, in my opinion, I'm a strong believer in karma, even if you are looking the other way. You know, because you're gonna have a son or a daughter out there that you would hope that somebody do something for them when you're away. So when people say these things, you know, about, you know, forget the community and, you know, why should I be responsible, whatever, that's if you can do something, you know, if you're able to do something. But if you're just gonna, you know, I don't think anybody's saying jump in front of a running car to save someone. I don't think that's a requirement, but I think you know, if you have the means, then why not? Especially if it's your people. Like I said the other day about, you know, arguing about what we should or shouldn't do. We're the only ones that have this conversation.
Which is very true because it stops a lot of progress. It's like reading a map and you know where to go, you know where you are in the map, but you just decide to sit there.
Yeah, I mean your people. That's my thing is, and you know what's crazy? Your
Mm-hmm.
people don't really come at you when you saving other type of people.
Mm-mm. And
They only
that's the
come
good
at
thing.
you. Yeah, they only come at you when you have somewhat of an urgency to do something for your people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wow. But I'm not even gonna criticize them for that, but I am observant.
Yeah, well, you don't have to criticize them. That's my job. I'm just joking. But it's what makes it very interesting because all my life I never thought I was better than anybody, but I just had this curious mindset like if you know this isn't right, and I can understand ignorance. Okay, I can understand ignorance, meaning you didn't know or you weren't taught. But when you're taught and you still do the same foolishness, that's just
Mhm.
like like what is it going to take for you to learn?
Oh, suffering.
And that's what it usually boils to. Because I'll like people know me. I'll say something, but trust me, if I'm willing to say something or fuss about it, best be sure I'm going to help you do through it. So you can't say I never learned. But once again, it's that obsession for that dysfunctionality. Like, be your own person.
Well, it's easy now. It's real easy to just talk about things now instead of going to the actual core.
Hmm.
They're too they're afraid to go to the core because they know what they're going to see. If they find out what's going on in the core, that means they got to do more work. So it's easy to comment and criticize things that's happening now and then go on it without anybody challenging it. So if you
Yeah.
start hitting that core up, that's like an Achilles.
Hmm.
So
And, and that,
I only discuss the core with people that are listening.
yeah, that's the part that through
Hey,
years,
what's
just like you. Oh, go ahead.
yeah? What's up with you, bro?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, you got a box office on your info. I want to send you something,
Oh,
little package.
we got the Royal Platinum up in here. What's up, fam?
Yeah, yeah. I want to send you some smokes, man. I see what
Okay.
I see what you cigaring on. I want to send you some Cohibas.
Okay. I'll put the address in the back chat.
Yeah, yeah. Just it could be a box office. You know what I'm saying? I ain't one of them niggas.
I don't mind people doing because if somebody comes for me in my house, guess what? I got enough arsenal to make Frank Castle jealous.
There you
So
go, bro. Deal with them niggas. It ain't gonna be some old hating ass, bitch broke ass nigga, man, and shit. Real niggas out here trying to set this shit together. We trying to set the game straight. These niggas, they like it crooked, and they just pushing it further and further to the left with that bullshit. No, I'm just saying they the one that's broke. You talking about these fixing nigga? The nigga broke. How you gonna? How a nigga who his car don't work? You gonna let the nigga work on your car? That nigga been sitting in his yard for 2 years.
Yeah.
You gonna let the nigga under your hood?
Hell no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
And it's funny. I don't have a problem helping people. But
yeah, I would throw a lifesaver. I throw a lifesaver, but I'm not going to drown saving you.
Exactly.
I want to check in with you though, man. Look, if I want to send you two of my I don't know your address or nothing, but I see you be smoking. I want you to smoke that good shit though.
I'll put it up in the back chat so we.
Oh, it's up there. Okay, I'm finna bounce out though. Hey, look, y'all do y'all thing, man.
All right, thanks, man.
I got it. Okay, they'll be there Friday.
I appreciate it.
All right. And y'all take care. Shout out to my nigga Arts TV. Shout out to you, bro.
Peace, fam.
All right.
And it's like you said, Art. I don't mind throwing out a life preserver, but the drowning part, I like Hall and Oates said, I can't go for that. No, can do. And
yeah, you better grab that lifesaver too.
Because it's not. I got a very limited supply, a finite supply of lifesavers, going fast, if going at all.
And one of my friend brothers put that out there. I'm gonna use that.
Like the mighty Panthro in the background, as we see. He's only nice for so long. He's only nice for so long. Once the theme music comes, the nunchucks come out swinging, and if you in the way, you get hit. And it's like,
but
it's like go ahead.
We thrive on dysfunction, and we see on YouTube, and we see it somewhat in real life. I'm spoiled, man. When you know history and you see the greatness of it, it's like I want to see more of that before I die.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that. We're the
same people. Yeah, we're the same people as before.
I'm so glad you said that. Please go a little deeper on that one.
Yeah, we're the same people as before.
Oh wow! Everybody dropping off. I don't know what the hell's happening. I'll put this link back in here because Brother Art was going on. I'm a little upset about that shit. A little upset. Bring your knocking my people off, knocking my guests off. What the fuck? See, I'm trying to get Art back up in here. I'm getting upset about that. I hate that. That's rude. Making me look like a bad guest. And we pride ourselves on being gentlemen and scholarly up here with just a smidgen of negatory. Yeah, like he says, before I die, I want to see great Black people at the zenith of intellectual prowess. Hey, what's up, LaShawn?
Where do you leave me off? Where did I leave you off?
You were talking about what I asked you to go a little more in depth about wanting to see Black greatness again.
Yeah, my whole thing is that I don't think anybody should be growing their business on channel primarily on the dysfunctionality. I think it's only there for you to bring up or to remind you that that's a problem. All you gotta do is come with a solution and to make sure that you apply it rather than just talk about it.
Yeah.
That's my issue with some people. And and the stuff that we hear on YouTube, most of the stuff is nothing new. I've been hearing it in the 80s, 90s, stuff like that. The only difference is people are way more outspoken because we can't put our hand around it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Why push a narrative? Because we already know a lot of things are bad and dysfunctional.
Are you borging out, Art?
Oh, I'm sorry. I said we already know that things are crazy and dysfunctional. What are we gonna do about it? Not what are we gonna say about it. What are we gonna do about it?
It's to be solution based.
Yeah. And maybe because we're
Well,
fire
that's the
signs,
problem.
you are Aries, I'm a Leo. We're fire signs, so we're about doing. Make sure you can see results.
Yeah.
I'm a Gemini, and I'm
Oh,
telling you right
Gemini,
now,
the
it's about
thinking
the other
man.
half. It's about the other half. Here it is.
Oh,
When a woman blames me and I didn't hump her, or the reason she had a kid, but it's my responsibility to do what I never did.
I should have figured you was a Gemini.
There's a complication in that situation because, well, it is complicated, I guess.
I should have figured that out, man. You do talk like a Gemini. Yeah, I should have figured that out. Because you give me negative
Duality.
and positive and try to meet them together.
Yeah, he gives you a duality.
Yeah, he's always doing. Okay, I should have figured that out.
And what makes it funny, Art, and LaShawn, it's the fact that throughout my life I see this, and you want to help as many people as you can. I mean, you could probably say I had even to this day, I probably had a borderline hero complex. Like everybody's worth saving, but then again, sometimes the best way to save a person is to let them let them get a little scorched a little. As my father said, I'm supposed to be your parachute, not your cushion. If that makes sense.
Charles, you know what? Remember when Superman died and Man of Steel was John Henry? Like man just built us. That's what we try to be. We ain't Superman, but then we can build something close to it and try.
And that's the part that's the hardest, I think, for a lot of people, is the trying. Because too many people think that you should have just an already built structure. Instead of just putting that one little seed and that one little action together, step by step, minute by minute, day by day, we miss out on, what can I say, greatness? We miss out on opportunity. And I mean, Art's been a teacher for what, 20, 25 years, quarter of a century? Which is a long time. It may not seem like that to a lot of people, but that's a long time educating. He's pretty much educated 2 generations. He's pretty much probably
Can I give you the obvious?
I thought Xer.
Can I give you the obvious, Charles?
And Charles. Go ahead.
No, go finish what you were saying, Art.
And I was counting them. I taught Xers. I taught Daniels.
You coming up on Z's now.
Yeah, and I was talking about you the other day. It's funny how we get on panels, we're being talked to like we don't know our profession.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, we got that shit bad as black people.
Yeah, and we
got that horrible. I don't care if it's law, being a lawyer, doctor, even like people was trying to correct Nicole Ali in the chat one time. I was sitting there like, damn. I mean, this is our profession.
Yeah, like I've came up with this saying now. I ask people, "Are you black?" And they'll tell me, "Yeah." I could tell because you always challenge the expert in their field.
Yeah, I never understood that, man.
That's crazy, man.
And
I
I've never,
know.
It's
I've
It's
never challenged,
crazy.
I've never challenged art on how to make a syllabus or how to make I forget what they call it. Like you basically have to make a learning plan from start to finish, from the first semester all the way to the last day of school, and present the shit.
you know what I realized? It's always those mad at you because you're proud of your name, but they want to shame you because they ain't proud of theirs. They'll
Yeah.
call you out your name, but they will never. Don't bring my name into it. Don't bring me in the conversation. We talking about you here. We talking about you.
That's why I say you don't apologize for your achievements.
No, you don't. And I think that's another part of the brokenness.
Yeah.
That's another part of the broke. Thank you, Art. That's another part of being broken. That you almost gotta shun being good. You not even almost. You really have to shun being good. People love it when you wallow in obsolescence
I mean,
because
you
it
look good
doesn't make.
dance. They say, man, you dance good. Most of the time, nice. Because you don't want nobody to think that you being, uppity.
Yeah. In other
Look,
cultures, you're
Jesus.
encouraged to be great. In other cultures, you're encouraged to be great.
Yes.
You're encouraged to be the elite. You're encouraged to be superior. But only in the black community, if you outshine one, you're making us all look bad. The fuck?
Yeah, ain't no shame in this. I
Yeah.
put a lot of work in this motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
Ain't no shame. I'm doing the work
The way I
while
see
the
it,
other.
I'm gonna give you something that might make you think.
Hopefully I can
If
remember.
Jesus died at least 2,000 years ago and they still blaming his ass for not saving them, what the hell can you do?
Yeah.
That's called ignorance.
Yeah.
But plus them the ones that have to unlearn what they learned also.
And that's the hardest part.
Yeah,
And,
they have
and
to
you
unlearn.
and go ahead. And you as an educator have to go through that unscrewing the mind. It's almost like you got to rewire a car or something.
We had a chance though. Before them Teach for America teachers came in, students were really trying to improve. I mean, all the stuff from the Great Faulkner Initiative,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of young black kids were going in that direction. It was sort of instinctive.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they were pulled in different directions, and so they couldn't really find the best choices. Then it got to the point, like I said yesterday, we were losing our geeks. Our geek. The problem was we were ignoring our geeks, trying to give more attention to Pookie and Ray Ray because we felt sorry for them.
Mm-hmm.
We ignored them.
Yeah. That's always how it is.
We assume that the geeks gonna have it together. They don't need no attention. They gonna always have good grades. They will behave. But years later, you got the geeks having and
And
they
the
have
scariest thing is, from civil rights, we said, don't let them white people say it about you, to now we saying it about ourselves. And then
like
we
I
include
said,
white people afterwards.
like I said yesterday, black students, when they were told you don't have to go to college, they usually said, "You trying to say we're not good enough to go to college?" They were very defensive about that.
Yeah.
You trying to say I'm not smart enough? Black folks had a chip on their shoulder. Black students,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they gave in. Yeah, nigga, I don't have to go to. Yeah, nigga, I don't have to go no college. Shit,
Yeah.
F that.
Yeah. It's like we used to say in the army. We want to maximize the minimum. And it's like you want to become an underachiever because you're scared. Like white people have a fear of failure. Black people have a fear of success because much more is going to be expected of you.
And Charles, tell them how they treated you. How half the people treated you when you came back with your uniform.
Oh
You
man!
oh,
Oh damn!
you're supposed to be
There
in
was
charge
half
now,
who
huh?
loved it. There was half who loved it, and the rest, good God Almighty!
Exactly.
You thought I slapped their grandmother, pissed on their sister, beat up their daddy, kidnapped his grandfather, held him for ransom.
Man, all I want to do, man, and I ain't trying to step on no toes, but if you're not feeling the steps of somebody trying to achieve, just move out of the way.
And
That's all I'm
that's
saying.
and that's
Move.
part of the broken phenomenon that I've noticed. It's like, God damn, can I live? God,
Charles, you mean to tell me you got after we kicked the Nazis' ass after World War II treatment, after
oh yeah,
black folk got out the service
yeah,
in your
that's how,
current time of serving?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I mean, I get more thank you for your service. Not saying black folks don't say that, but I get it more from white people, and I'm in black neighborhoods.
And don't forget, I voted for Obama. No, I'm joking.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh Lord, we gonna have to
Wink,
vote
wink.
for old color man. You know, and what makes it
All right,
crazy? What makes it crazy? I volunteered to go speak to kids. I even spoke at my full uniform on a day off to my son's summer camp last year. Speaking to the kids there, and it was so funny that this is the first time kids ever got a chance to talk to a police officer and ask what kind of questions from ages 5 all the way up to 15. Of course, it was two classes because some material you can get a little bit more adult than the younger kids. So, of course, you get asked the same questions. Why do y'all kill people? Oh God!
Can I hold your gun?
Of course not. And I'm like, out of all the stuff on me, why do you worry about the gun? I said, what do you know about the history of the Baltimore Police Department? Well, it was started. It initially started back at what? 1784. We're one of the oldest police departments in America. Oh, wow.
Charles, I know you're a very big, large man and you work out often, but your gun makes you look small.
Well, the gun, I don't even think people are afraid of the gun. I think people are more afraid of the nightstick because they know that it doesn't take as much for you to use the gun as the nightstick. So that's the problem. But in all seriousness, you try your best to help out your community. You volunteer and say, you know what? If you got to complain about police, I'll take the job. I'll show you how it's supposed to be done. You ain't got to worry about no white boy coming to be a police officer. What type of respect you think I get, fellas?
None.
Now I gotta fight you on the street like I'm still like we're in a hood fight to get my respect from you instead of just automatically giving it. But once again, we wallow in obsolescence. Once again, we gotta look out for the broken people.
You know what? On that rare occasion, I'm just gonna say, can I just open the back door and get in? You just take me in. Don't worry about it. We good. I just no. Man, my shadow don't look that good on Everett. I'm telling you right now, you just standing right here on earth ground level. Nah, I ain't messing with you, mister. I'm getting your back car, your damn cop's car, and let's go ahead and take me home tonight. I'll get out in the morning. Don't worry about it. We'll be good.
What do you think about the subject, Iori?
I mean, oh man, that's a long answer, but I'll try and distill it. If we're talking about like the whole thing about fixing broken people, if we're talking about, let's say, the Jada thing and people like that, I feel like people who have the concept of not being broken conceptually, it looks like certain people aren't broken because they might have certain things that someone else might not have. But that doesn't mean that physically or materially because you don't seem broken, that internally there isn't some dysfunction going on. And I think the issue is that a lot of people think that certain people like Jada or people like that have everything's together, they've got all this stuff or whatever, and they're just as broken as anybody else is. To be honest, and this is kind of oxymoronic because you wouldn't think this way. Some of the most broken people that I know are the people that quote unquote have the most, right?
Mhm.
And a lot of times we think, okay, like that guy has more than I do, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. There's no way that he quote unquote is as broken as I am. But it's just that you're not looking at it through the right lens. You know, I mean, I feel like this, and this took me a while. This took me a while to figure out. I figured out that not being broken is not normal. The normal part of life is to be broken. And I always thought that the normal part of life was to not be broken. But now that I look at it from the other side, we got a broken world. You know, we got more people that are broken than we have people that have their stuff together. And I'm not talking financially, I'm talking mentally, physically, emotionally, culturally. You know, that kind of stuff about not being broken is the rarity of the situation. Most people walk around being broken. We just don't realize it, you know. And it took me a while to figure that out because I would always try and help other people and this, that, and the other. And I would always say, hey, bro, like, you know, instead of you doing this right over here, making 15 bucks an hour, I know how you can make 25 to 30 in 6 months. And they say, oh, well, you know, I'm not good at that. I'm not smart like that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, I'll talk to you after work so you can do this. And this is just an example because this is the kind of stuff that we see in society everywhere. You see friends that aren't making as much money as you do. You know that they can make the same amount of money that you do. You know that that shit would be an upgrade for them. You tell them, hey, man, call me after work and I'll help you. Nope, nothing happens. What ends up happening is, you know, they talk about Black Lives Matter and Donald Trump and everything else, and that there's a place for that. But the thing is, part of you not being broken anymore means that you have to have the maturity to do better for yourself without anything really being necessary. You just need to want to do better for yourself because you want to do it. That's true maturity, and that shows that you're not broken anymore. But a lot of people aren't willing to do that.
Yeah, I mean, self motivation is a motherfucker. It really takes a
Yeah.
lot to motivate yourself
Yeah.
because on a fundamental level, you have to have a goal and you have to set it and you have to be disciplined. Which, oh my God, is that a bad word in the black community? Somebody tell me that. Discipline.
Yes.
That's why they hate the Nation of Islam. But go
Yep,
ahead.
yep, exactly. They're disciplined. And you know, it's funny. Even as a cop, the nation still got love for me. The nation always had love for me because
So
they see so many times of me coaching kids, and they show me so much love and support. They've actually donated stuff to wrestlers, but you don't hear them stories out there, do you? Do you, folks? Do you?
just a little young Barrel about it.
You know, and you know, and it's funny because when you get outside dysfunctionality and you see true peace, the nirvana state, it opens you up to things. When you get outside of all that and you become a motivator of yourself, just how you motivate yourself will motivate people into fixing their issues.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's funny because when you get outside dysfunctionality and you see true peace, the nirvana state, it opens you up to things. When you get outside of all that and you become a motivator of yourself, just how you motivate yourself will motivate people into fixing their issues. Because you don't want to be that one friend that it's a burden to be that one friend. Everybody comes for you to tell them the truth. Sometimes you like it, sometimes you don't.
I am that friend.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
am that friend.
And it's such a burden. I'm not saying I can't take the burden, but even my friends used to ask me, so what's wrong with you in the relationships? I said, shit, I'm cool. They'd be like, oh, so you said you never played a part? Never said that. I said I'm cool. I'm okay with myself, flaws and all.
Problem
I
with
said,
that, you can message.
but they don't like the way that I say it because I'm not kissing anybody's ass.
You know what the major problem is? You know what the major problem is?
What's that?
They don't know they're messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly
Because the rest of the world messed up is normal. And you're the oddity out the whole damn world. You're the exception. And you're weird because you want to do it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the right way usually is the longest way to do it. Like, I'm pretty sure Art is a fellow artist, and I'm not saying I'm on his level. You know, one day the creator blessed you with that type of skill. It's going to take a while, and I'm pretty sure it took him a while to develop that skill into a fine art, where he had to learn the difference between abstract and photorealistic art. And he had to mentor and use art not just to teach shapes, colors, but he also had to teach life to a lot of these kids because art, like myself, is probably one of the few male role models some of these boys and girls have. It's the first one. I'm pretty sure Art could pretty much tell the same story when I started coaching wrestling. A lot of these kids never had a male figure of authority till the age of 14, 15.
Yeah.
And you're trying to get a well balanced human being out of that shit. Good luck. You had an uphill battle.
It's too short of a time frame to do too much.
Yeah. Have guys like Art myself made miracles? Yes.
Yeah.
But it's a fucking fight.
By the time you get to the boy, he might be 13, 14, and almost.
We have too much.
You got a lot of static. What's on? What were you saying, Art?
I said we have too much of a pushback from the mamas. You know, we've been saying that for years, but it still holds true.
Yeah.
So we love our mamas. So in the dysfunctional stuff, we try to hold true to it, just for the sake of showing some kind of loyalty for our mamas. Don't realize as you get older that it's hard out there, and I got this much catching up to be a man, and I ignored all these dudes that were trying to give me game, but now I got to make up for lost time.
Yeah.
This
and
is
it's
what we.
hard.
You know, the worst thing is the mother wants you to teach their sons how to be men but it's just about to get out of high school.
Yeah, that's true,
And
man.
that's a hard project, man, because your lesson should have started early. You know, I go back to like the rites of passage that basically the Great Faulkner Initiative speak about. Where are all these stars and community activists who says we need to start a Boy Scouts troop? A lot of city boys have never even camped.
Yeah.
Went fishing, went hunting. Hell, a lot of city boys haven't even cut grass yet.
They smoke it.
Yeah.
They smoke a lot of it. Roll that shit. Yeah, that's a good one. They roll that shit, light that shit, smoke it.
With skills.
With skills.
Look, they
surface
might
and
have
shit.
trimmed the weeds that grew between the pavement. All right, that's the closest thing to
the
cut grass they have.
Underarm, double pinch,
Uh-huh.
2 fingers. They got all kinds of skills. Man.
I mean, they'll pass that blunt like fucking Lamar Jackson passing a lateral. God damn.
but they can't go. They can't go fishing though.
Can't go fishing. Can't cut grass. Can't change the tire. I'm just like, if I had a daughter, I would forbid her for even looking at you. She would be cut out my will if she dared even to even speak to you. And
You ever, you ever
and go
been
ahead.
in a weed session when people waiting their turn? It's salivating. Come on, man, hurry up with
They're,
that.
they're almost feral.
I'm like, God damn, man. That's what made me. I said, you know, you spending all this time waiting your turn. What, 5, 6 puffs?
hmm You could have made your
So,
own damn blunt the whole time.
right.
I guess motherfuckers are that cheap that they would rather wait for somebody else to roll and puff that motherfucker. And it's funny because niggas still share weed or Corona. Ain't that a
Yeah.
bitch?
All that slob, like hanging off while they pass it. Just the freshly, what do you call it? The freshly rolled type thing.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
man. Hit that, man. Hit that.
they got the whole Scooby Doo tongue on the motherfucker.
Nah, the ones that get busted right when they light the blunt say, "How you know?"
You know,
Oh man.
motherfuckers look like Venom from Spider Man and shit. Yeah, God damn. Like,
I'm
like
like,
that used to
damn.
freak me out because I never smoked weed, but my friends did, and I would just sit and watch them. So wait a minute, that nigga just licked all over that motherfucking thing,
And y'all passing it. And y'all
and
supposed to
y'all
be straight
putting
in.
it. What?
Yeah, y'all straight
No, 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 no. When the
Oh my
dude does
god!
it so well, you ask him, dude, you jumping out the closet? Why you ask? I'm just asking about that blunt right there, bro. Just asking about the blunt right there. Just walk away. Just
Yeah, because
I am so glad that I never had the urge. I mean, no judgment. Don't get me wrong. I ain't doing no judgment on people that really go that route. But man, some people they can't live without it.
yeah, like
They can't
I
function
like,
without
yeah, like I like to drink, and it's even funny because even my drinking has slowed down significantly, and I'm just looking at other people just getting drunk. I'm like, God, you're really not making this shit attractive anymore.
it. Yeah, because you're supposed to be during your youth. You're supposed to get it out of your system. Be
Mhm.
doing reckless things. Then later on, you're supposed to grow up and put that shit away. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Start focusing on real life and real issues.
but see, the part is, here's the trick bag of this functionality. Real life sucks so much you got to disguise it.
Yeah.
Instead of confronting your problems like men and women, you want to bastardize everybody else's shit and make them conform to your fucking reality, which is psychosis, to be detached from reality.
Yeah,
And
God came from God's green earth. He made it from the trees, so we get to smoke it. We blessed from that. And here's more nutritional facts on how we should be able to. I'm like, come on, man. Just take
yeah,
like God go in the
it's like,
corner over there.
motherfuckers will come out with all these pseudoscientific shits just to smoke a blunt.
Yeah, just be happy with it. Come on back when your mind is clear. I'm cool.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't blow that shit in my breath.
look.
Yeah.
If you sound like Jada at the red table trying to explain to Will Smith what entanglement is, and
One
you
day I'm gonna
just
see that.
like replace that with weed.
I
Yeah.
never got to see. I never got
Just
to see.
say you smoke weed and don't say you got entangled in nothing. Just say you smoke it and be happy.
Yeah, just be happy with it.
Yeah, it's like,
Family.
but yet when they get upset, when they hit it, this functionality button, and they don't get a job.
Yeah.
Oh, they
Man,
racist. They
that,
didn't
that
let
made me pee 2 times.
they racist. They wouldn't let me. They didn't let me do this because I smoked a blunt. They fired me. Well, nigga, you can't be under the influence using heavy machinery.
You hear about Colorado when they first got legalized? Unemployment went up the roof.
Mm.
Hmm. Ain't nothing for free.
Mm-hmm. Like what? Like here is it. You rather be a beach bum who could smoke weed than to get a decent career that could pay your family's way to getting out the hood. Wow.
I'm gonna say this: if you have no worries in the world, if you go on the beach, go somewhere else, and you don't have to pay for nothing, blunt all day if you get to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because nobody's really under your responsibility. But if you got to drive buses and planes and you got to do all kinds of things that people rely on you to do with a clear mind,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not so sure about all that freedom type stuff that they think that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. And that's the truth, bro. That's the truth. Like, oh man.
I'll be honest with you. Most of the ones that don't pass is smoking it on their day off. They ain't smoking it while they working, but that day off, they smoking it, and they just happen to get tested and get caught. And for a lot of times, it's been around too damn long. And honestly, Charles can tell you, he probably met some old 90-year-old woman. So they got plants in her back room and stuff, and it's just
It's funny.
it's one of those plants that
It's
just
funny.
always going to be in human history.
I mean, if you got to get some weed, get it from the weed man. The dispensaries over there, dude. You know how much chemicals in that stuff?
Uh-huh.
One day I'm gonna talk to Nicole Ali about that. You know,
I
because
think that's
imagine smoking Monsanto.
mm,
Imagine inhaling that.
they probably put
Yeah.
gas in that shit. A little bit of
Like,
plutonium.
I was like, man, people
Okay,
are not thinking about that.
y'all talking about people I don't know about. Thank God.
No, man, Monsanto, that's the chemicals they put in pesticides, as pesticides and stuff like that. And matter of fact, imagine smoking Roundup, weed killer.
Mm.
Imagine inhaling that shit, smoking it.
What kind of junky shit is that?
And people are not really questioning it. That's what gets me. I'm like, now ask people, because I do ask people, like, okay, did you ever ask anybody, where this came from? I don't care, man. It works for me, man. Shit, that's all I need. I get a pack every 2 days. I'm like, oh shit. You're not even questioning.
I'll be honest with you. It's one of those things like a good cigar, a good bottle of liquor,
Mm-hmm.
and anything else.
And
It is what you smoke now. Like there's people that smoking rat poison right now, all because they need a high and it was $5 and they just had enough change. I can't go off there thinking. It's just like I wouldn't do to myself, and I understand what you saying.
And we're wondering why these dudes come at just like they do. They might be on some shit that they can shake off.
yeah, like I think I already was talking about that dysfunctionality. Go ahead, Ari.
Yeah, I was.
Oh, go ahead. I think you did get your statement out.
Yeah. I mean, right. So part of the dysfunction to me, I was talking to a buddy of mine, and we were talking about how we were talking about SYSBM and the importance of traveling. And I was talking to him about how some people are so addicted to dysfunction because dysfunction is all that they've ever seen. They've never been in an environment where functionality was something that they could do. But the same people that are dysfunctional are so afraid of going into a functional environment. Like it's weird for me because I think everybody needs to travel, regardless of whether you're black, white, Asian, any sort of thing. Because what it does is it opens your mind. And technically, I was telling him, I'm like, look, you're never gonna know how good it is to be an American until you leave. Because as a black man, America always tells you that you're not as good as you think you are. The only way that you realize that you actually have given benefits is if you leave America and figure out what having an American passport gives you in terms of benefits. There are countries where you can walk right into the airport and they'll stamp you and give you a visa the moment you walk into a country because you're an American citizen or you have an American passport. Benefits like that are things that people have never ever seen. And I told them, I'm like, look, the biggest thing that's difficult for a lot of people is when you see somebody who's a Haitian, does that guy who's Haitian say that he's black, or does he say that he's Haitian? When you see a black Brazilian, do they say that they're black, or do they say that they're Brazilian? The biggest issue that I see, and I was talking to him about this, is that black people have been seen as a pejorative in America so much that they don't understand that going to another country, going to another culture, and understanding that has its own liberation in it. Because you start seeing that, okay, like all of a sudden these people aren't necessarily looked at as full pejoratives like certain people in America are. And that is due to how we have everything coded in America. But when you go somewhere else and come back, it gives you power to understand that you have more options than just being stuck here. It's an epidemic in our country, man. It's crazy. The people that need to leave the most are the ones that are dying to stay here.
Yeah. And think about it. We'll allow other people to come into our neighborhoods and benefit off of us, but let something happen. We'll be the ones to give it that motherfucker leeway to rob us blind.
Mm-hmm.
Still shopping at the store, still robbing you blind.
Sure.
And I'm just like, where's the normality? Like, oh, people want to talk about, well, black men are looking for black women. Yes, we are. We just have these lists of demands. They're few.
Yeah.
They're not hard for you to get. Hey, be this type of woman.
And go ahead, Charles. I'm sorry.
Like, be this type of woman, and your odds go up of getting a high class, high value man. Or just a normal guy who just loves you for you, wants to see you in the best health that you could produce, just the best inspiration, the best, positive qualities.
Yeah.
How much you get turned down for telling women, well, if you're a little bit nicer, you get your bodies tighter, and you're cooked sometime, you might fix this relationship.
Yeah.
And I look at you like you just stole the whole diamond. Nigga.
Yeah. I wanna kind of piggyback on that. It's like, all right, so here's the issue that I have with some people that are anti-SYSBM. They say, oh, well, you're just going to Colombia, you're just going to Brazil, you're just going wherever you're going because you don't want to deal with American black women. You don't want to deal with black women. Well, what happens if I find a wife from Kenya? What happens if I find a wife from the Congo? Does that count? Or am I still anti-black because I didn't marry an American black woman? See, the thing is, like, a lot of people speak from their own ignorance because they don't understand that some of the coolest black people that have a lot to offer are black people that are from different places. They're wired different. Like a German black woman, a Swedish black woman, a Brazilian black woman is wired differently than an American black woman is. And for a black man who's educated, who makes 120, who's got that educated lame tag, he probably is more functional to black women from other places and more congruent to those black women than maybe some of the black women here.
Think about it. How does the equality go where you can tell, like, when you normalize being disrespected or low key to stay, and we still chase after you, we still protect you. But once again, black women need to be protected. That's like, how the fuck are you not protected by black men?
Here's the problem, Charles. When they say they're not protected, you know what it really is, and the same reason why he's saying SYSBM. You saved yourself from being a Negro. You don't want to be judged as. And the problem is, sooner or later, they don't want to be judged as Negro either. Then they want you to go ahead and do your part. Because that's the reason why they didn't mess with you before they had all them kids and all them mental hang-ups and all that trauma and stuff you got to deal with now. But they looked you up on Facebook, you know, kind of stuff. You know, all that extra that you didn't include in your life, and that's why you are you.
Well, here's the thing that we have to always remind ourselves when we have conversations. You got domesticated brothers, and you have international global brothers. And it seems like in the domestic, not even just brothers, but just people in general. Yeah, you have your domesticated people trying to make you domestic when you're trying to expand and travel. And even if you have it, you still have that mind to do so. And I just wish that people understood that they need to stay in their lane and stop trying to force people to not expand because they don't feel like expanding. I mean, if you're good at being domesticated, then freak it out. Do all the things that are necessary to keep that domestic life banging or popping or whatever. The thing is, again, just like we're talking about saving people, move out of the way so people can go ahead and explore and find out more about the world, and maybe they may be able to come back to something that could help you as a domesticated person.
Right.
We didn't always have cumin and curry and what else? We didn't always have all these different herbs and spices. You had to travel. But these domesticated people were enjoying this shit. Mustard seed, mustard seed is not an adult thing. This shit came from Africa and India.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? My whole thing is that if you want people around you to be domesticated, then deal with the other domesticated people. Yeah. Just have fun with them. I'm just talking about peace, man. Being peaceful and being sensible and being logical with that. When we have these conversations, because all my whole thing when I'm hearing these arguments, it's like you're constantly trying to. I was on the panel with somebody about that. I forgot when it was, but they were trying to say that these guys have low self-esteem and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, so let me get this straight. So you have Gordon Parks, low self-esteem, Sammy Davis Jr., low self-esteem, Quincy Jones, low self-esteem, all these dudes, low self-esteem.
Robert Smith,
self-esteem. Okay, all right. I mean, it gets more and more. And, the ones that even complaining, they try to be hush-hush that they're not fully adults themselves. Some of them do have a little Cuban in them.
Yeah, it's like a Dominican or a Cuban telling you, "I'm not black." I'm not black. Like, nigga, you're darker than me. I'm not black. And I look at this shit like that's the part of the brokenness. At some point, you're gonna know you're broken.
Yeah.
And my father always told me, a broken woman will tell the truth 2 times in her life. Excuse me, a woman will tell the truth, absolute truth, 2 times in her life. When she's broken and she's too damn old to lie.
Yeah. And a lot of the guys that do the whole, well, this African chick I got is better than the black American, or he has an axe to grind. He has a cross to bear. So he has to, he's using that expression. That doesn't mean that everybody goes out there just to prove that this chick is better than that one. Some of us, like myself, I went overseas, added all overseas again. I switched. You know what I'm saying? I'm just getting around it. I got the right person to settle down with. People are just doing a lot of broad stroking. That's my opinion. I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. Everybody's mad at you because you know 12 herbs and spices, and they're yelling at you because flour and cornmeal ain't good enough for fried chicken for you now.
That's actually a good analogy.
That's a great point.
Sorry,
That's actually a hell of an analogy, man. I wish. God damn, that is a hell of an analogy.
Yo, that was the dopest line I heard.
You better than me because you got some herbs and spices.
Yeah. Damn. That fucked my head up just now. Like that's very profound.
Yeah, I forgot where you came from because you using turmeric and shit.
Yeah, like people don't understand that it's okay to be good. It's okay to learn something outside the norm of where you came. It's to see the world. Like that's the reason why I refer to Man of Steel so much. I got to do a play-by-play of it. The first thing he did, he left home to find out the type of man he was. He had to leave. Like Kansas was cool. I'll be back one day, but I gotta live my life. Why the fuck you leaving Spartanburg, Cam?
Rubber fight there, huh?
No, yeah, a lot of people are just jealous. When people start getting them frog faces. Why you go to college? Why don't you sit on this block like me? Why don't you work this?
You can read big words past 8 letters. That's why you went to college.
Yeah.
They can't get past 3.
And why can't you get this dead
They got
dog?
the 13th grade, which is a community college. You can do that. The 13th grade, we call it.
That's what we call it, the 13th grade. Why you going to the army? You're gonna die. Oh, I got the fuck
How dare you fight in that white man's army?
Oh, well, nobody ever heard of Corpus Christi. God damn.
Yeah.
But that's why I was saying yesterday. Has anyone ever been on a panel and said that you have to get a degree to be an electrician?
Nope.
I never heard that.
And
I never heard it where they, I never heard anybody have to get a degree to get a blue collar job.
Shoot,
you're gonna always get that training.
You don't even need a degree to get half of these white collar jobs.
Thank you. So I never heard anybody say it, and I never even heard anybody allude to it. Somebody always just bring that in the conversation as though somebody's talking about it. I'm like, no, it's. I mean, usually it applies to, I would say, doctors, lawyers, engineers, that kind of thing.
Something that needs a very finite skill, something that needs that pinpoint accuracy of knowing the law or knowing the body in such a way,
Yeah, because I could use, I wish we had more of a plethora of our people that had these professions instead of people that don't really understand my struggle.
Exactly. Like, why don't we have black unions when it comes to electricians, plumbers, and such like that?
I have fun with my plumbers that come through, and we have talk, whatever, and give them a beer, whatever. I don't even drink it. Like, here, man, I don't drink it, but yeah, it is. We get to talking, but I can't have it with black doctors that much. I can't find any.
Yeah,
some of them I got to drive far away for the ones that are qualified.
And think about this. Because we do too much dysfunctional shit, we allow other races of people
to galvanize and become the catalyst of black success. And they will basically inherit that motherfucker as one of their own.
I said that Saturday. We got all them
I've met
scholars
black.
sitting around. Matter of fact, I believe they still around, man. A lot of scholarship for black males in particular.
Mm-hmm. They will inherit, and they will. It's basically like you will be absorbed into that community so quick because you're that smart or that great.
I talked to my
You know what I
administrator.
think is?
Yeah, I talked to
Those
my
that got these degrees and doctorates, they their job is their standard and how they view themselves, even though they don't meet the standards of how they're viewed as,
It's
and
like
look down on their nose, looking at you and saying, until everything drops out the bottom and they broke, and then they look into you saying, "What about us and we?" When it wasn't about us and we.
I'm gonna keep it real. We've been passed up because a lot of our little brothers, you know, been passed up. We got all that training. There's lots of training out there. A lot of free tuition for that. Matter of fact, Trump is trying to add more to the budget for that. Plenty of free training for electrical work, IT, all that stuff. Plenty of that, you know. But for some reason, they don't want you to be a fucking leader. They don't want you to call the shots. I don't hear funding.
They're so dysfunctional that the only time they want you to be the leader is to take the blame.
Yeah, fall guy.
The fall guy.
Shout out to Ben Carson.
An open tall bridge.
A surgeon over HUD. Make that make sense. But
yeah, a surgeon over fucking housing. Like, why aren't you why aren't you the surgeon general?
The best of them too. He's the best of them. You can't tell me you can make him a what do you call it, a surgeon general?
Really? Why can't you make him a surgeon general? Like you literally put this guy in the complete and the utter opposite of what the fuck he does for a living. Like literally, this motherfucker used to work at a hospital. I used to speak to him all the time.
Man, and he has the background. You know
what? My grandpa said this before he passed, and it was right when every old black man was crying about Obama being president for the first time.
Right.
And he said something to me which kind of caught me off guard and like shut the whole room up. He said, if everybody treated every black boy and man like they was Obama before he was president, what would we be? And that stunned me and made me shut up and made me rethink. Because I used to be sitting there, attacking everybody, saying what you do and what your work. But then I realized I was like, damn. At that moment, it wasn't my moment because I was happy. But he did the living, and I finally understood what it meant to him. And that moment right there is I wish every black boy could have. But that's been a long butt for like longer than 100 years, and we still trying to figure out what the problem is, why we can't make it a new year without it being a butt.
You gotta look at it where I think Farrakhan used to say that every time somebody celebrate, because you're the first Negro to do this and the first Negro to do that. So right now, according to, even though Obama's supposed to have a white mama and everything, he's the first Negro president supposedly in our eyes. And the thing is, just because he's a president doesn't make him a good president. Just make him a president.
Let's make him a president. See, it's funny, right? I'm glad you said that. Because when you look at it, right, it took half a Negro to be your first black president.
Right.
And then what was more insulting on a fundamental level You weren't even an ancestral Negro of the Americas who was a fucking ADOS. And you want to talk about black men need to raise their kids. Nigga, how the fuck can we raise our kids when you see how child support is doing us? You see it.
Just like I say how Trump is reading the script, I think
hmm
Obama's the best of the script readers.
Yeah, he's the best of them because see, this is where I'm gonna fuck up a few people's heads, but you know where you're tracking. And I'm pretty sure everybody on the panel knows what we're talking. This is how dysfunctionality is a respecter of no persons. From the top to the bottom. Obama literally told black people and tried to shit on black men about taking care of their kids, and they're like, so they brought up the statistics to Obama, and that's when he started the fucking, my brother's keeper, and then allowed black feminists and white men to shut it down. It's dysfunction. You're saying that we don't take care of 52% of us don't even have kids. And we still, like, how many, look at Zion's stepfather. Never was thanked. I'm pretty damn sure he took very good care of Zion and his mother and his brother that was sired by his stepfather. Not one mention when he was a first round draft pick. That would have been a white athlete. Guess who would have been thanked first? Would have been the father.
Yeah, I mean,
I blame it because Obama's mama wasn't black. His mama wasn't black, so I it's Obama's fault. It's just all Obama. That's all I can say. I mean, the thing is, the stepdaddy gets told, well, you ain't the father, but you know what? He's paying the bills. He's taking care of. He's teaching. He's showing up. He's paying for it. And you know what? I understand that, it ain't my kid, but damn it, I acted like it was. And it benefited from all the benefits as if I had my own kid, and I didn't. And that's the battle of it, because, you a black man. What's the odds of you meeting a black woman without a kid? But you ain't crap because you a stepdaddy and you might have a child with her. I mean, it's a battle among all consequences, because no matter what you do, you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Doing the right thing.
Damned if you do, and certainly damned if you don't.
Well, your mother should have been embarrassed and your daddy should have pulled out. Shout out to Willie B.
Or your mama should have swallowed. Like, think about it. Here's the deflection. You want to have the babies by who you want them. Get with a guy, and then you don't even offer to give this man a child to actually seal the relationship. And he wants you to take care of the family. I'm just like, man, I tell you what, some days I look outside the world, I step out, I look around, and I step right back in my household.
But here's the thing, man, in the church, we live that Joseph, Mary, and God story. Joseph is that's our spiritual, that is our spiritual state. Men are very held in high regard by the Gnocracy if you're a good Joseph. As a matter of fact, you're accepted by the invisible, you're accepted to be the invisible God, which is the baby daddy.
Mm-hmm.
This is our reality.
Mm-hmm. And that's the part about the broken pieces. You know, broken homes develop what? Broken people. And it's not like we don't have enough research. We don't have enough statistical data. We don't have enough
eyewitness events and and retelling of the fucking same story. It's almost like when you see this shit and you talk about it, everybody swears you up and down. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, get the fuck out of here.
I got a best friend that raised the kids since 4 years old and at 17. The boy had the nerve to tell him he ain't his daddy and he ain't got to listen to him. And luckily, I stopped him from beating his ass. But I let him grip him by his neck and snatch him up. And I was surprised because that's a big man as a son at 17. Sat there and said, "You pay me every dime right now. Or I'm going to put my foot so far up your ass, I'm going to need surgery and I'm going to use a prosthetic since they ain't going to be able to remove my leg out of yours. Where's my money?" And the boy just crumpled. And then he realized, he said, "I ain't your daddy. I ain't your father then. Where is they then?" And he just shut the door on him. I was like, I mean, it's one of those things. And that's what black men don't get respect for. When we doing it right, we trying to be a part of it. It's not about you, it's about her. And she'll sacrifice everything that's half of her and half of you just to prove a point. And the problem is, it's too many examples, and they might whisper it when they private in a room with a glass of wine, but when it comes down to doing it and saying it at the right damn time, they don't. And we don't have a right to say nothing. It's all on them. You can't blame somebody who takes all the responsibility, but then you want to deal out faults. So you didn't include all them people for it being the reason why it's the fault.
Yeah, we got some work to do, but in the meantime, as long as you're aware of what's going on, you gotta fight.
You have to, man. You really have to, because you're looking at an uphill battle. Sometimes you just look at it. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not a safe place for you to go. Don't do that. Okay. Zzz.
Because I'm looking at the talking points of these young cats, and well, not me per se. I'm probably part of it, but not directly. But a lot of these young cats have really been sheltered from the so-called establishment or racism, white supremacy. They've really been sheltered. You know, every time there's some kind of thing that we're supposed to be seeing behind the, we're supposed to be seeing things in between, reading between the lines. We encourage them to move forward, and it don't exist. As long as you don't acknowledge it, don't exist, then you can be anything you want to be. So the stuff that you can call out, you ain't calling out, you're ignoring it, and the people that do see it clearly, you're spazzing them out, trying to get them not to say it, because they know if you start to peel the layers yourself, you're going to have to admit that your parents kind of sold you a bill of goods that you couldn't use. That's why they do go after the boomers, because, like, put it this way, when the boomers were growing up, the bad guys are the white folks. Called you nigger, had these little signs up that said whites only and all this. So they had a direct lineage on who's doing what to you. You had to watch out for it. Now, since they've been sheltered from that, the younger folks, the bad guys are the older black people. It's the low hanging fruit. And it's like, I don't know what, I mean, it's almost like not spanking your kids starting in 1985 because I don't want to go through the same shit that my folks went through, or that I went through. But they kids bad as hell. Most people in prison right now, they got Think about that.
You know what? You are absolutely right, Art.
Mm.
If the look, I kind of like I've been talking to like some of my younger generation that actually talks to me without calling me old man, but they saying if the boomers got civil rights, Martin Luther King got shot, then why didn't they get to the finish line and then tell us everything's gonna be all right? And now we dealing with what we got to deal with right now with cops choking us out and still beating the hell out of our asses.
And we're
And
supposed to look the other way because you're responding to it, so that makes them win and all that kind of stuff. Go ahead.
I get what they're saying, but I said, look, over time, white people can do stuff behind your back, and you never know. Like you didn't know they passed a lot of crap that you can't do no more. And they took all those rights that we didn't pay attention because it was buried into like a 3,000-page Congress amendment.
Somebody sleep. Was that Charles sleep on his own panel?
No, I don't think so.
I think Charles and Chaos having a snoring contest.
No, I'm here. I'm here, guys. I'm just listening.
That's true.
What's good, Art? You know what I'm saying? I was just checking this game that came out last year called The Devil's Background. You know, I forgot when I use the best for this game. This game funny as hell, man.
Yeah.
That shit's
Yeah,
comical.
I'm just over here, man. I'm working on some, some extra money job, and then
Keep
at the
yourself
same time,
busy, Art.
yeah. Then I got a lecture to do on Zoom tomorrow, so it is what it is.
Gentlemen, I'm gonna have to say goodnight. My Bluetooth is about to die. It was a pleasure talking with all y'all, and y'all be safe.
All right. Good night, LaShaw.
Okay, good night, y'all. Good night, and good night to Charles. I think he'll wake up and find out we're going. So. All right, fam. Y'all be good. Peace.
That was good. Charles!
Yeah,
Charles! Yeah, it looked like
yeah.
you called it a night. I think you said your piece. You're already over 2 hours. So,
Oh yeah.
Any closing statements?
Closing statement says, "Hell, I'm gonna take me a damn nap."
Well, let me play some music to check us off. For those that listen, please hit your like button as you on your way out. Support the channel.
Oh no.
And like always, I guess until the next stream, my people, you know how it goes. This is the Faulkner Jr. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you want to give it a closing. Woo!
Woo! And we're out.
And let's hit the music. All that happens when I was 20, I probably. All right, here we go, people.